Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this tutorial we're going to look at the stuff that you need to install in order to develop Android applications. So the things you'll need are basically a JDK Java development kit, a Java runtime environment. You'll need the Eclipse IDE for Java developers, the ADT Android Development Tools plugin for Eclipse, and one or more Android software development kits. So before you install stuff, if you go to Google and search for Android and Eclipse, and go to this link here to the ADT plugin on developer.android.com, which is a very useful site which you'll need to refer to a lot if you do any development in Android. Go to installing the Eclipse plugin and go to System Requirements. And you'll notice here that at the moment it says that you need JDK 6. So I've got JDK 7 on my system, but I actually installed JDK 6 as well, just to be sure that it was compatible with the Android tools. So you may want to do that. And now I'm gonna. So if you haven't got the JDK installed, just search for JDK 6 in Google and go to Java Standard Edition Downloads, and if you scroll down here you'll find links to download the JDK version 6 and the JRE. Here we go. So download and install those two things from oracle.com, and then in Google if you search for Eclipse and go to eclipse.org and go to downloads and just install the latest Eclipse IDE for Java developers. And in fact that usually is just a zip file download, and you just have to unzip it and drag an icon to your desktop or somewhere. So once you've done that, you should have Eclipse running and you can develop Java programs. But for Android we need a couple more things. And I'm actually going to right click my Eclipse shortcut here and go to Run as Administrator, because my experience is that the Android Development Tools installation doesn't seem to work unless I'm an administrator. It complains about not being able to move folders or something like that. So to be on the safe side, run it as an administrator. Now if you go back to this, let's see, this developer.android.com here, one of these pages here has this installing the Eclipse plugin page, has on it a URL which is where you need to get the plugin from for Eclipse. And what you need to do is just paste that URL into the right place in Eclipse. And I'm basically now just going to go through the stuff on this page, which this page looks a bit fearsome, but it's actually really simple in most cases, assuming it works. So I'm just going to copy this URL, and I need to find the place in Eclipse where you install new software, and that tends to move around between the window and the help menu. But at the moment it's in the help menu, and I need to go to install new software. And just here I can add a new source for software, for plugins, a new repository, and I'm just going to call it Android, and I'll click OK. And now it's going to search that repository for available plugins. And we're going to see a couple of plugins are going to come up, and I'm going to install both of them, although I probably only need the ADT plugin. In fact, this is taking a little while, so I'm going to go away, and when I come back it'll be a little while later. Okay, so about 30 seconds passed, it wasn't long, and now we've got these two items here, and I'm going to install both of these. The NDK plugins, I believe that these are actually things that allow you to develop Android using native code, using stuff like C++. And I've never got into that, and I'm not planning to use it, but I'll install it anyway, just in case it's needed. And let's just click Next. And this can take a little while. So again, I'm going to skip forward a minute or two. Okay, so I'm back just a minute or two later, and now we've got this screen, and I'm just going to click next here and accept the license agreements and click finish, and I'll let that run and I'll be back just in a tick. It's now about a minute later and I'm getting this security warning from Eclipse about installing unsigned content, and don't worry about that because it always says that. I'm just going to click OK and carry on installing, and now it's asking me, as you can see, if I want to restart Eclipse. Now I'm actually going to say no, and I'm going to quit Eclipse manually, and the reason for that is that I want to start it as administrator again. So I'm going to right click it and go to run as administrator, because again I've found in the past that this next stage doesn't work unless I am an administrator. So let's click OK there on the workspace, and we're almost there, but the next thing we need to do is to install one or more Android SDKs, Android Software Development Kits. So this dialog has popped up automatically, and this is coming from the SDK manager, which you can find, I think, in a window menu. And it's asking me, so I've got ticked here, install the latest version of the Android APIs, which supports all the latest features. And yes, I definitely want that. But I'm also going to install Android 2.2, because as it says here, this is supported at the moment by 93% of all phones and tablets. And the thing is, when you develop Android applications, you have to think about how many people are going to be able to use your application, because not everyone, in fact only a minority of people at any given time, have the very latest version of Android. So I'm going to tick that as well, and let's just go to next here. And I really don't want to send usage statistics to Google because I hate being badgered. And I'm just going to run this, and I'm going to be back very shortly. Okay, so now it's 3 minutes later and it's asking me to accept these license agreements, and I'm just going to do that. And now this next stage here takes forever because it's got to download the SDKs, which are pretty hefty, and install them. But we'll come back after that, and by then, hopefully, we will be done. Okay, it's about 5 minutes later now, so it was a pretty quick install, 5 or maybe say 7 or 8 minutes actually. And everything's installed now, and if you go to Window and Android SDK Manager, you'll be able to see the SDKs you've got installed, and we've got here Android 4.1, and you can see it says installed, and Android 2.2 is installed, and of course you can install more stuff from here if you want to. So that's it for this tutorial, and you can find more videos in this series or more information about this course at www.caveofprogramming.com/Android. And in the next tutorial in this series, we're going to look at creating an emulator so that you can test your code. So join me again next time, and until then, happy coding.